learners, welcome to our Environmental Science Senior Secondary course of NIOS. In our previous program, we have discussed the various methods to overcome the water scarcity, includes concept of water use efficiency and watershed management. During this program, we would like to cover topic that will be some ways of why and how to conserve water as individual level as well as community level along with few case studies. So, this is part 2 of lesson 31. Title Water Conservation at Different Level of Optional Module 1. Module title is Water Resource Management. I am Neelam Gupta, Course Coordinator of Environmental Science. Welcome you in this program. Now come to the objective of this program. Cite examples of individual actions towards preventing water scarcity. Discuss community action required for protecting freshwater resources. Enlist and explain government action existing and required for conservation of fresh water. Describe the role of the individual for conservation of water. First, we will discuss some examples related to overcome from water scarcity. There are examples of individual and community efforts on water conservation in our country. Role of individual and community in overcoming water scarcity. Some areas in India, people have begun to take the matter in their own hands. In the coastal areas, the problem is of salinity ingress into groundwater aquifers. In the rural and urban areas of Saurashtra and Kutch, every summer there is water shortage, while a large number of people depend on the rain god or the government water tankers. First, we will take case study from Gujarat. In Gandhigram, a coastal village in Kutch district, Gujarat, the villagers have been facing a drinking water crisis for many years. The groundwater table had fallen below the sea level due to over extraction and the sea water had seeped into the groundwater aquifers. The villagers formed in village development group, that is Gram Vikas Mandal. The Mandal took a loan from the bank and the villagers contribute voluntary labor, that is Shramdan. A check dam was built on a nearby seasonal river which flowed past the village. Apart from the dam, the villagers also undertook a metro watershed project. Due to these water retention structures, the villagers not have sufficient drinking water and 400 hectares of land which earlier lay barren has come under irrigation. The coastal city of Bhavnagar was facing a severe drinking water shortage. Professor Vidyut Joshi, the then Vice Chancellor of the Bhavnagar University, initiated the digging of a percolation tanks in the university premises. About 650 students, 245 teachers and other employees of the university worked as voluntary labor. During the following monsoon, all the bore wells in university as well as those in the adjoining areas were recharged. Now we will discuss about artificial recharge to groundwater. Any man-made scheme or facility that enhances seepage water to an aquifer may be called to be an artificial recharge system, but the groundwater potential is getting reduced due to certain adverse effects of urbanization, some of which are more dependence on groundwater use, over exploitation of groundwater, increase in runoff, decline in well yields and fall in water levels, reduction in open soil surface area, reduction in infiltration and deterioration in water quality. A strategy to implement the groundwater recharge could be adopted. Recharge of groundwater through storm, runoff and rooftop water collection, diversion and collection of runoff into dry tanks, playgrounds, parks and other vacant places are to be implemented by town panchayats, municipalities, municipal corporations and other government establishments. We will read methods of artificial recharge in urban areas, that is water spreading, recharge through pits, trenches, wells and shafts, rooftop collection of rainwater, road top collection of rainwater, induced recharge from surface water bodies. Now we will discuss about benefit of artificial recharge in urban areas. Improvement in filtration and reduction in runoff, improvement in groundwater levels and its quality, reduce strain on town panchayats, municipal corporations, water supply, estimated quantity of additional recharge from 100 square meter rooftop area is 55,000 litres. Next will be discuss government efforts on water conservation. National Water Policy 2002 strongly emphasized conservation of water, efforts to retain rainwater on land through various schemes, construction of large number of dams on various river systems, interlinking of rivers. It is proposed promotion of rainwater harvesting, promotion of burn at village level, promotion of use and recycling of wastewater, steps to protect water quality, drought proofing the future. The Indian River Interlinked is a proposed large-scale civil engineering project that aims to effectively manage water resource in India by linking Indian rivers by a network of reservoirs and canals, and so reduce persistence floods in some parts and water shortages in other parts of India. The interlinked project has been split into three parts: a northern Himalayan river interlinked component, a southern peninsular component, and starting 2005 an interstate rivers linking component. The project is being managed by India's National Water Development Agency under its Ministry of Water Resources. Temporary cutbacks or permanent operating adjustment can help to conserve water. First, we will talk about permanent conservation methods, which includes subsidizing use of water efficient faucets, toilets and shower heads, public education and voluntary use reduction, billing practices that impose higher amount of water use, building codes that require water efficient fixtures or appliances, leak detection surveys and meter testing, repair and replacement, reduction in use and increase in recycling of industrial water. Reduction now come to the temporary cutbacks, that is reduction of system wide operating pressure, water use bans, restrictions and rationing. India's water policy gave overriding priority to drinking water. Urban development projects are required to make provisions for drinking water. India is developing both ground and surface water resources. Current policies prioritize the utilization of static reserves to prevent groundwater mining, which is very intensive in many parts of the country. The central and state groundwater boards can intervene in improving prospects of success of water harvesting initiatives across the country. They should act as libraries and resource centers for those planning to work on groundwater. Revival of a large number of ponds and tanks in the country would provide for water shortage for many dry months and also prevent floods by storing excess river water in depressions. Small structures like tanks or check dams or lakes have higher ecological efficiency in groundwater recharge. Techniques like rooftop rainwater harvesting should be promoted in urban areas. There is a strong need to create awareness about water conservation among the urban youth. Commercial media and regular airtime on national channels discussing issues of water management, their success stories, is effective way to promote water conservation. In many parts of the country, the water is polluted by discharge of domestic or industrial effluents. There is an urgent need to implement the anti-pollution law. Quality of groundwater is a very important concern as it supports more than 50% of agriculture even today. Now, time has come when we will have to revisit traditional solutions for water conservation. Indian community have long been aware of the dependence of their lives on the natural resources around them. You all must be aware about the Chipko movement, which involved local people physically impressing trees to prevent loggers from cutting them. under the leadership of environmentalist Sundar Lal Bahuguna. India has a rich legacy of water harvesting technologies like the rainwater harvesting. It is putting water back into soil where it is stored in underground rivers and reservoirs so that it can be drawn when needed. Revival of traditional rain harvesting systems have transformed some of the areas from places of economic backwardness to areas of abundance. They are also highly sustainable. We must rejuvenate our traditional knowledge and tape the traditional system of resource management to suit our present day needs. Modern communities the world over should therefore be encouraged to look at time tested traditional methods of resource management. There are some simple water saving methods to conserve water or conserve water because it is right thing to do. We can follow some of the simple tips. Use only the amount of water you actually need. See that there are no leaks in the toilet tanks. Do not throw away water that has been used for washing vegetables, rice or dal. Use it to water plants or to clean the floor, etc. Make sure that your home is leak free. Many homes have leaking pipes in and around your home. Form a group of water conscious people and encourage your friends and neighbors to be part of this group. Promote water conservation in community newsletters and on bulletin boards. Encourage your friends, neighbors and co-workers to also contribute. Avoid flushing the toilet unnecessarily. Keep a water bottle filled with water in a cistern tank for reducing the amount of flushing water by 1 liter. Simple strainer in the wash basin tape will reduce the outflow of water by 50% just practiced by aircrafts. We will discuss few other daily routine activities to reduce excess use of water in next few slides. First activity is brushing teeth. Method adopted. Running tape for 5 minutes. Quantity used, that is 45 liter. Methods to be adopted: use tumbler or glass. Quantity required 0.5 liter. Quantity saved is 44.5 liter. Next is washing hand. Method adopted: running tape for 2 minutes. Quantity used, that is 18 liter. Methods to be adopted: half filled wash basin. Quantity required 2 liter. Quantity saved 16 liter. Next is shaving. Method adopted: running tape for 2 minutes. Quantity used 18 liter. Methods to be adopted: shaving mug. Quantity required 0.25 liter. Quantity saved 17.75 liter. Next is shower. Method adopted: letting shower run while soaping, staying under shower too long. Quantity used 90 liters. Method to be adopted: wet down, tap off, soap up, rinse off or use bucket or low flow shower. Quantity required 20 liters. Quantity saved 70 liters. Next, flushing toilet. Method adopted: using old fashioned large capacity cistern. Quantity used 13.5 liter or more. Method to be adopted: dual system, short flush liquid waste, full flush solid waste. Quantity required 4.5 liter and 5 liter. Quantity saved 45 liter or more. Next is watering plant. Method adopted: running hose for 5 minutes. Quantity used 120 liters. Method to be adopted: use water can. Quantity required 5 liter. Quantity saved 115 liter. Next is washing floor. Method adopted: running hose for 5 minutes. Quantity used 200 liter. Methods to be adopted: use mop and bucket. Quantity required 18 liter. Quantity saved 182 liter. Next is washing car. Method adopted: running hose for 10 minutes. Quantity used 400 liter. Methods to be adopted: use bucket, 2 bucket. quantity required that is 36 liter, quantity saved that is 364 liter. There are few simple methods which can be used for saving water as monitor your water bill, check your water bill to monitor your family's water consumption. If your consumption is more than the average, recheck your family's water use habit, take shorter shower, wash fruit, dal and vegetables in filled sinks instead of under it running water, wash a full load, fill your washing machine on a full load. Next is reuse, collect grey water from washing machine, flushing the toilets or mopping the floor, repair leaks, promptly repair tanks and leaking tapes immediately to prevent water wastage, half flush for liquid waste. Now we will discuss case study 2. This is studies belong to Rajasthan. The work of Tarun Bharat Sangh and his founder Sri Rajendra Singh in the district of Rajasthan can easily be oversimplified as watershed management. It is a two-step program. First, revive vegetation on barren hill slopes, and second, build a small water catchment in the valleys and the plains. The efforts resulted in dead rivers begin to flow, agriculture possible round the year, poor villagers laboring in cities returned and families reunited. With enough water and fodder, income from animal husbandry begins to flow, nutrition level rise and public health improves. People rid of insecurities come together to address other issues of life like education and local governance. Awareness and confidence enable micro credit schemes that lower the cost of households and start small enterprises. When small communities like these succeed, the government itself wakes up and development becomes what it should be, ground up instead of top down. Then question aroused, how did it happen? Well, this happened in the space of 15 years of Rajasthan. From the small village of Bikampura in Alwar district, the people centered development model spread all over Rajasthan. Today the river Aravali, dead for 40 years, is flowing again. Also the river Ruparel, Jahajwali and numerous other rivulets. It is all begin with a young man called Rajendra Singh in 1985. Tarun Bharat Sangh discovered that only people's fullest cooperation can achieve these ends. Every member of the community agrees to contribute either money or labor towards for construction of a johad. The picture shows johad, one of the oldest systems used to conserve and recharge groundwater are small earthen check dams that capture and store rainwater, constructed in an area with naturally high elevation on three sides. A storage pit is made by and excavated soil is used to create a wall on the fourth side. But once such conscious work are built, they become everyone's, are guarded and maintained. Issues of use and sharing have been settled before construction begin. Rather than later, such works are forever, and for 5 years of deliberation recedes into significance. Regeneration of vegetation on hill ensure dependable water supply to stream. Hill can be revived when left alone by preventing humans cutting off mature trees and nibbing of sprouting stumps by cattle. TBS discuss these issues with villagers in the chosen hill areas through hundreds of hours of meeting over several months, and until they all agree to suspend browsing by cows for 3 years, goats for 5 years and camels for 7 years. This agreement leads to what TBS called social fencing, which is virtual, only in mind. With great fanfare, elders lead villagers on a walk through the entire line of the agreed social fence, sanctified by sprinkling a mixture of sacred waters and milk. Once the notified TBS has found that villagers respected and policed it. Rajendra Singh has put the minds together as he worked over the years close to the people. Along with 4 of his friends, he arrived at the village of Kishori and said to the bewildered villagers that he wanted to do something. In the 30s, the district of Alwar in the green valleys of the Aravalli hills was a prosperous land, but a greedy prince sold off the rights to the timber on the hill. In 10-50 years, contractor had the land low, rain brought down loads of earth from naked hills that filled catchment park. Water spread off without stopping to feed the wells and fields. Often they hurtled into deep marble mines and lay uselessly there. Landowners joined landless laborers on a trek to Delhi and Agra to toil for small sums to send home. Families broke up. Mangu Ram led Rajendra Singh and his friends to a place where they began to dig. It was the first johad in 40 years. A johad is a dug on pond created at a place chosen with native wisdom, informed by remembered pattern of water flow during the rains. After the rains, water stays in for months and recharges the wells nearby. When the 650th johad was dug out, close to the forgotten riverbed of the Aravalli, the river woke up at the next rains and began to run and providing water and life to the people of the area. Today, all over Rajasthan, the TVS model pioneered by Rajendra Singh is spreading. There are more than 3,500 people made water conservation structure. Villages contribute 1/3 of cost of all construction. A check dam picture in the above slide is a small, sometimes temporary dam constructed across a swale, across a way, drainage ditch or waterway to counteract erosion by reducing water flow velocity. Check dams themselves are not a type of new technology, rather than they are an ancient technique dating all the way back to the 2nd century AD. Dear learners, before we wrap up, we would like to recap the main points, that is what we have learned. There are many examples of individual, community and government or conservation of water. Effort at individual and community level in Gujarat on water conservation are also famous. The effort of Tarun Bharat Sangh led by Sri Rajendra Singh to revive Aravalli river in Rajasthan is a world famous example of water conservation. Temporary catchment or permanent operating adjustment can help to conserve water. There are some simple water saving methods to conserve water because it is right thing to do. We can follow some of the simple tips. A large number of dams and reservoirs created in the country are good example of government's effort of water conservation. There are a number of policy and regulatory initiatives taken by the government to promote rainwater harvesting and water conservation. Dear learners, this is all about water conservation at different level. Part 2, we will come again to meet you with a new program of environmental science. Thank you.
घर बैठे पाएं राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय शिक्षा संस्थान यानी NIOS में एडमिशन, वो भी एकदम आसान तरीके से, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को होगी समय और धन दोनों की बचत। NIOS से शिक्षा कभी भी कहीं भी। शिक्षार्थियों, क्या आप जानते हैं NIOS में एडमिशन लेने का सरल और सुगम तरीका, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को ऑनलाइन प्रवेश लेने में सहूलियत मिलती है। NIOS में प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया पूर्णतया ऑनलाइन है। शिक्षार्थी घर बैठे इंटरनेट द्वारा प्रवेश के लिए सबसे पहले NIOS की वेबसाइट www.nios.ac.in पर लॉगिन करें। अपना ईमेल आईडी और पासवर्ड डालकर अपना पंजीकरण करें। पंजीकरण के बाद लॉगिन करने पर ऑनलाइन प्रवेश हेतु आवेदन पत्र खुलेगा। आवेदन पत्र को निर्देशानुसार भरें और प्रिंट आउट लें। इस प्रिंट आउट पर अपनी फोटो संलग्न करें। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश के लिए शुल्क हेतु भुगतान के तरीके हैं: क्रेडिट कार्ड के द्वारा, डेबिट कार्ड के द्वारा, राष्ट्रीयकृत बैंक के ड्राफ्ट के माध्यम से, जो कि सचिव NIOS नई दिल्ली या नोएडा के पक्ष में देय हो। भरे हुए आवेदन पत्र के साथ साथ डिमांड ड्राफ्ट और संलग्न किए जाने वाले दस्तावेज हैं: जन्म रजिस्ट्रार के जिला कार्यालय से जारी जन्म प्रमाण पत्र की सत्यापित प्रति, जिसमें जन्म तिथि अंकित हो, पिछले विद्यालय से प्राप्त विद्यालय छोड़ने का प्रमाण पत्र, जिसमें आवेदक की जन्म तिथि लिखी हो। प्रवेश फॉर्म का प्रिंट आउट NIOS के संबद्ध क्षेत्रीय केंद्रों पर 10 दिनों में पहुंच जाना चाहिए, अन्यथा उचित दस्तावेज न लगे होने पर आवेदन फॉर्म रद्द किया जा सकता है। प्रवेश प्रक्रिया की पुष्टि होने के बाद शिक्षार्थियों को परिचय पत्र व अध्ययन सामग्री डाक द्वारा तुरंत पहुंचाई जाती है। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश एक बहुत ही सुगम और सुविधाजनक प्रवेश प्रणाली है। ऑनलाइन ऑन टाइम फॉर सेफ एंड सिक्योर एडमिशन।
करने राहों को आलोकित करने, जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने। धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो, कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो। मित्रों हम उठे और जागे, मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने। राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी बातें, शिक्षा परीक्षा का बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों